세러데이 쇼다운 젠지 스포츠 대 OK저축은행 브리오.
Wow, this is the most anti-fun draft that we have ever had. I really want someone to put up a Reddit thread saying, like, are these the least exciting champions you can lock in every role? I think it almost is.
I think I'm with you.
Is Sion less exciting than Gnar?
No, Gnar's... Aatrox could have been just as bad.
True.
Okay,
I feel like there's a lot. Renekton could have been just as bad.
Yep. Well, Renekton is here.
But I mean, they fit into the same category, don't they?
Yeah.
We'll see whether BNK FearX can embody that as they look to take on a Gen G with the most It's Business composition that we have ever seen. Let's dive onto the Rift for game one. A little bit muted here at LoL Park. We will wake up because there is action already. Raptor is just trying to get some bleed damage onto Canyon, and that's actually going to do a lot of work.
Talon!
Closing the distance. The Sandstorm is coming, Gen G! And Chovy is dead. First blood to Nefiri. This wave, it's going to be level 2 gained by Gen G. And this is already just kind of awful if you are the Nautilus. Braum is just pretty ridiculous.
Sending this team and saying, guys, yeah, okay.
Okay, here's a little bit of, never mind. Hook is going to connect onto the door.
Wait,
the dog's coming down though, as Duro is in trouble. He spins, he launches, and there is a flash out from one of them, and the other one's dead and flashes as well.
Slump is Raptor. This guy...
You're not allowed to take dragons this early, isn't it? A post 10 minute not being ventilated anymore. However, if you were to just like put on a snorkel and be realistic.
Wait, but how does this...
Don't think of the analogy. Just let's be realistic for a second.
Okay.
Okay. That sometimes... Oh, okay. And there's a bit of an engage onto Duro, who is just dead. That is Feats of Warfare as well. Chains of Corruption connect. A flash forward from Diablo, and he picks up the double! I wonder whether, like, Darude could be contacted. So, like, okay. Canyon is going to ruin the route. Never mind! Untargetability there, pretty overpowered. And Raptor able to avoid any sort of trouble. The rest of the team.
Glenn Howell, I'm 99% sure. Yeah, the new one. There's been a new Twister, right?
I didn't know that.
It's great.
Does it have Helen Hunt in it? Because she was fantastic in Twister 1.
I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of Twister. It was a fun disaster movie. I had a great time watching it. I would recommend it.
I was so scared of cyclones and twisters and tornadoes and stuff when I was a kid.
I get why you would be afraid of that.
Yeah, it really got to me because I watched it when I was very, very young.
I was about to ask, and you would say like, oh, I was like 18.
Kellen looking for a bit of an angle. Another Chains of Corruption going to connect. The interruption there as Diablo just thrown under the turret and destroyed. Oh, biting off a little more than they could chew, you could say. As Raptor going to be able to take the second dragon, but Kellen is very dead. And the rest of BNK going to have to get out of there.
But the rest of the map, as one would expect, is slowly trending towards Genji as Chovy.
Gets the flash.
Nice. Well done there by Vikla. Good positioning.
Wind and Fire Drakes, which is fantastic. There's been a lot of music references as there's the Emperor's Divide used onto Clear, who's just going to take that as an invitation. That's a phenomenal interruption from Canyon, though, as Raptor takes down Chovy, and Clear is still alive. They're going to look for even more here as the Jax clears out the wave, and Raptor says, get out of here, I'm super fed.
I want to believe so badly, Atlas. I can't let myself get caught. We need to hold off.
Oh, wait. Maybe I'm not.
Because we can't prove that he's not, because you can't prove a negative.
Exactly.
Nice.
All right, well, Gen G going to start off this dragon. You got a teleport coming in from Vikla. He's got the wall ready to try and split this one apart, and Clear is on a pretty nice flank angle with the minion wave exactly where he wants it. Raptor's already dove in, and remember, this guy is so scary. There's the wall. It's going to knock his own jungler out, and then the Emperor's Divide going to come on through. But over the wall he goes. That's a brilliant flick as Clear gets in there. Duro trying to help out, and they do take down this Nautilus as Canyon going to be the next one on the menu, but Raptor is taken down, and that's the money going over to the Sejuani. No one has a jungler left, but it's BNK to take the objective. That was a mess.
Canyon's going to try and look for the steal.
Yeah, Ruler grabs the red buff, and he's in the pit, but he's going to have to get himself out of there. Yeah, nice little pull, and the Rift Herald is going to be collected. There is an Archon on the other side of the map, and maybe B&K are just going to look for that one as well.
No. Atlas, it's happening.
Callan is going to see whether he can keep Canyon out of the pit as the Arctic Assault not going to land. Raptor actually going to give up on it because Vicla's looking for the fight. Chovy gets over the wall. That was absolutely huge. No rocks actually available to be put down. As diving onto Keen is Raptor, but does need to be a little bit careful. Boomerang going to be dodged, but the Meganar is going to come in as, thought he'd overcommit. But Keen does not. And now Meganar up and available. The hook comes in, but Callan is going to be dead to start this fight off. Still clear, getting into that backline, and he has the counter-strike. They get out of the way. The Empress Divide onto 3, and Genji, of course, just decimate the team fight. As Raptor over the wall, he's the only one to survive. They deny the soul, and Genji get right back into the driver's seat.
It's a tragedy, Atlas. You knew it was coming. All the signs were there.
Oh dear.
They were doing so well.
Well, at least
they didn't throw it Otacon.
Yeah, the Ruinous Otacon's going to go down, and the cope is that they've only got one Cloud Soul.
Rocks available. Look at that. Rocks are down, and as soon as they drop,
yeah, just sees the commitment from Raptor and then says, all right, now's my time. 0 mana, by the way. He was just doing his little stuff.
The real is that they're not that far behind.
Emperor's Divide going to boop them away. Raptor is out of this, but clear now, not needing to deal with an Emperor's Divide. Still, yeah, it is an obscenely large number. As, oh no, Ruler baiting them in, or at least attempting to, as Vikla! I don't know about that one, as Clear is teleported forward. Vikla's still alive as the Doggo gets into the backline. Another 3-man knockup, but Chovy has no support, and Raptor has taken down the Misfortune already. Over the wall once again as Keen is on the rocks. Diablo trying to kill Chovy, but he will not be able to do it. And finally, Chovy goes golden to deny the Doggo getting in. Still he's gonna go down, and now it's Raptor getting the resets. Clear going in. Duro's gonna die as well, and is it the ace? Is it happening? Non-believers be damned. The Leap Strike gets the final kill, and now maybe it's just Baron.
Set Storm! They're doing it! They're doing the thing! Punished. They need to be punished for their hubris.
All right, Raptor trying to get some daggers forward. Another hook to start this one off as Vikla once again finding the angle. They've taken down Ruler. Another Empress Divide onto 3, but it matters not. There is no DPS remaining, and without Canyon, you are not stopping the soul. And the Sandstorm continues to rage through the Tiger's Den. Vikla comes on over with the wall, but this is going to spell the end of another inhibitor. And we are moving further and further towards insurmountable territory for B&K FearX. Raptor looking for more. Keen on a flank angle. Hook once again comes in, but Callan eats the Glacial Prison as well, and Diablo is free hitting. Look at these autos rip through Ruler and the rest of his teammates. Clear goes golden. Canyon is limping away from the fight, and now Nexus turrets are next on the menu, but maybe they move too far forward as Keen looking for the angles, not able to get the wallop onto Raptor, who has all of that extra money.
Goes in for the play.
Oh, speaking of Chovy, he's going to find Vikla here, and he wastes no time throwing out the ulti. Meanwhile, the rest of the fight is ensuing, and Ruler is dead. There is nothing he can do about it, as there's the flash forward from Callan, finding the double knockup as Clear, getting a couple of stuns himself, and down goes the Azir. That is game, ladies and gentlemen, as B&K FearX will be able to take down Genji here, and if they can make their way over to the base and taxi in some of these minions.
There's no way. There's no way, Genji. They can't defend, even without the Baron buff available. It doesn't matter. Super's in the base. Keen and Canyon staring down. B&K are gonna do it!
First, they managed to take down D+ in one of the games. Second, it is Genji falling to the Sandstorm as Keen is desperately trying to save it, but he's going to be ripped to shreds. Diablo dealing with these Nexus turrets as well as Canyon. Nothing to do except look on from the fountain.
내가 이 아꼈다가 나를 연계해줄게. 잘해보자 이제.
제발 진정해.
진정하고 하자.
진정하게 가볼래?
너 아래쪽부터 밀어내주면서 라인 밖에 해줄래? 까나를 5인공으로 맞지 마.
억제기 나온다. 억제기 나온다.
나만 안 맞을 테니까 앞에 세게. 억제기 나오는데 억제기. 괜찮아. 앞장 끼고 하자. 더블리 한번 볼게.
나 위에 타고 깰게 일단.
내가 하나 다 같이 봐. 앞에 세게. 앞에 세게 할게. 형 더. 나를 봐줘 나를. 나를 봐줘 나를. 타워. 끝났어. 나이스.
Is one of those picks where obviously
That's 30k as on-hit Varus.
I want to be very clear about this. There are games where I think the game isn't playable for MF. And Chovy gets the scale, and you're running the full melee comp into Victor and Renata. I don't think you're going to have the best of times.
Yeah, this is looking like a rough one here for B&K FureX. Of course, you know, they have a buffer game. This is the best of 3. The decider will be there as they are already 1-up in the series.
7%.
But man, yeah, this is the thing. Absolute insanity here from the Sandstorm. Let's see whether they can do it again as we dive onto the Rift for game number 2.
Well, they were real swords, right? So it would have been wildly irresponsible to give me that sword. But that lasted until I was, I want to say, like 19.
Wait, really?
Never
So
got
it was
my sword.
right on the cutoff of what you were
perfect.
saying.
Yeah, that's perfect. I can't believe Degon doesn't get it.
Yeah, no, neither can I. As Vikler is kingslaying forward.
He's dead!
Everyone is on the gravity well, though, so he just... All right. Here on the bottom side, Ruler is getting engaged on once again, though, as Kellen just standing on top of his ex-lane partner. And Ruler with the bailout side of the map. No one really gaining too much ground as Canyon looking to try and put down Clear as Keen just dashing forward. And there is not a lot of good places for this Crocodile to go as, yeah, the Viego, he's not coming. That's not happening. And look at this.
It makes complete sense.
Yeah, because it's an ecosystem that is a little bit different to the rest of the world, and so we want to preserve that. As we've got a bit of a fight here towards the top side of the map. Ruthless Predator coming out here from Clear as Ruler is going to just pepper him.
So much better than I think we've seen so far. But they're a member down, TP coming in.
Throws out the ulti though, and Canyon is the first one to get punished. There are 2 of the Canyon ultis as there's a public execution. The bailout just barely doesn't work, but it's 2 kills coming on through for both teams as Clear tidies up Ruler. Raptor trying to make his way out as Keen thinks it's one more auto, but unfortunately it was not. Still, Raptor has absolutely nowhere to go as he was transformed, and there's the handshake to keep Clear at bay. Now the rest of Gen G bearing down upon the Crocodile. As, yes, if this was border control, he would not be let in, and Gen G are going to do just that as he slices, dices, acting all cool. Will he be able to get out? That's the question, as the gravity field's going to slow him down, gets him back, slices, comes in, and they go for the re-engage. Not a lot of mana left on Chovy, and it's the Renata that goes down, and Clear shades on. Everything is tied up. Gen G did manage to hit the feats of warfare, as Chovy is going to be discovered by Kellen and Diablo, but Ruler just doing a bit of a drive-by is going to deter them from doing too much. And he's trying to stay positive as, all right, Ruler is going to have to flash yet again.
And then he pens to bot lane and watches his AD carry again get flash unforced.
CS, as Raptor actually does walk in.
Oh, the TP.
Yeah.
Trying to make a play.
This is a big one as Raptor has started this one off very, very quickly. Looking to pull these feathers back as Diablo is Heartbreaker forward. And the hostile takeover isn't going to do too much other than disengage this fight.
They know defeat him.
Yeah, they do get the ward down now. A lot of that vision is now away as the handshake just to get rid of this Crocodile.
Just shoving away. You couldn't really let him do that. So that does make sense, as you are itemless. I know Clear is on the way, but...
Well, steals away the public execution here as Keen. I wonder whether he's got a few dashes.
Yeah, it's...
does take 1 turret shot, as now Control Ward there. Vikler looking to turn it. As Chovy gonna have to flash once again. A little bit behind the play if they want to make their way up towards these grubs.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Kellen is gonna try and escape as Diablo finds Ruler, who's trying to just get up here towards the top side. An aggressive Featherstorm comes in, and Diablo is still just going to take down Ruler. Duro now has absolutely no damage at all. Chovy's going to come in, and that should be the end of the play and the end of Diablo. But I think the message is most definitely heard.
That's why they call him the devil. He shows up and murders you!
Oh my god. Canyon now as well in a bit of trouble as Vikler going to pick up a hostile takeover actually, which is pretty scary. Pulls Canyon back as the handshake is really good, but it's not good enough. There's just nothing to stop B&K from demolishing Gen G in the river. The fact that there is a Renekton on the side of B&K, they have to just play crazy. And they are doing so, and it's working. Chaos Storm down onto Chovy here as Kellen is behind enemy lines.
They're unaware. I think Kellen can't really do too much.
Yeah, they don't know, but I mean...
Now they know.
Yeah. Okay, well, Chovy and Canyon just going to walk towards them as the dragon is spawning.
And the chunk that they got on him, I think is why they just have to give up this dragon.
Yep. That one's going to go down. And next will be a Chemtech.
Okay,
that is 4 Chemtechs
I'm
available
sorry.
to them either. So they're going to have to get themselves out of there. Cute little dash as the arrow is going to sail by. A little bit late on that one, as the Rift Herald is going to just lose its patience entirely. Mega Blast Cone is going to bring Kellen in there, and he finds the quickness onto 2, and then just flashes away. Into the backline goes Vikler, as well as a hostile takeover is trying to work out, and it does. As there is once again the ulti to come through from Keen. It's Clear looking to exit the fight. Diablo now by himself, as Gen.G are just standing together. 4 members there, but they are so low. And down goes Kellen. Trying to be a hero is Clear, and the flash out from Raptor is optimistic, and it's a double for Ruler in the end. Dragon. Arrow just casually fired towards the top lane and just nails this Renekton as in goes Kellen. Keen gonna have to get himself out of there. The stun comes through, and with the Dominus, Keen should be shut down as he gets off the ulti, trying to dash his way through. And now we've got some battles, some Chaos Storms landing on the bottom side.
Oh, I thought they were going to go for Otacon, but they don't have. They can't. They have to respond to this mid lane play. As Gen.G used the Herald, and there was a lot invested to get this kill onto Keen.
Yeah, handshake onto Diablo there as well, as Raptor comes on over just to lend some aid to Diablo.
Clear. There's a lot of ways to deal with him available, right? Ashe is great kiting. You have a Renata as.
Oh dear. Vikler does have an ulti, but so does Canyon. And he's going to try and stay alive, but the gravity field holds him in place. Even Ruler able to turn up for an assist. Minutes in, they are going to be moving towards about a 2 to 3k gold lead. And turrets are continuing to fall. Bit of a consolation dragon comes on through here for B&K. Comes to Peanut, is okay. Kellen gonna look for the ulti, and the arrow is going to just say no to 4 people. Unless it doesn't, as Kellen does take a couple of turret shots, and now Raptor gonna get thrown around, has the Heartbreaker, as he is gonna run back to his team, as now Diablo's flashing forward. They get the stun onto Ruler. The bailout is not going to work. And now Canyon's trying to work out where he's going to help, and by killing the Viego is a definitely good start. Chovy finds himself 1 versus 2, takes down one of them, and then Clear finds another rotation, and the turret is still an absolute menace. Keen misses the ulti, but closes the gap anyway, and Gen.G is just starting to feel like they're a little too far ahead.
Even really necessary. I think Kellen might be in some trouble.
Unless,
wait, Diablo?
Okay, yeah, Vikler also trying to look for an angle as he gets the CC onto Chovy, but instead they just kill Kellen. And now the handshake doing work onto Vikler here, who now looks to taxi over towards Ruler, but he misses the chains and is going to be wiped out. Clear now also in an uncomfortable position as Raptor slowed down as he makes his way in. It looks like resets are going to start, though, as maybe this is the time. Heartbreaker comes in, another one. There's a great handshake as he gets a bailout. That was insanity. And now Ruler is just going to kite down the crocodile, and they win the fight.
Play right there.
Oh, yeah. Let's have a look at this one more time. No, this is not another replay. This is Diablo just dying. Kellen quickness and out of there. He has 3 items completed, 7, 1, and 9 on the Victor. As over the wall goes Keen, and Raptor is looking very squishy and just gets obliterated. Duro able to keep them all locked down, and Chovy just wanders on over and hits them with a few things. Ruler by himself against the Baron is not having a great time, but has the rest of the team to come up, and Clear takes a turret. There we go. Clear was definitely not caught because he was just in the middle.
Oh,
now he's caught. Yeah, no, you were talking about this, like live.
I was talking about live, yeah.
Colossally wrong. You're just wrong. And
it's just KT. Yeah, that's. Oh my God! Imagine being Rakan and trying to catch an Professor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That champion wasn't out when Rakan was released. All right, Raptor looking for a few angles here. Is Canyon going to ignore him? And now we're going to break open the base. The inhibitor turret's already dead in mid. They will take their first inhibitor here. It looks like there's not going to be too much of an answer as in goes Keen. Does get knocked up. He's looking for Diablo, though, who heads towards the base gate. Still, the stun is good onto this Ambassador. Diablo able to go up into the sky, but I don't know about it as the flash out, but Ruler had the arrows in the air. Grabs a triple. The arrow going to fly in. Kellen not going to be dying now, as Gen.G are just going to look to end the game. Oh, I take it all back, because Duro's going to flash handshake him. It's very polite, very kind. And down goes the Nexus as well. Gen.G going to bring us to a game 3, a 7,000 gold.
Continuing to just not have a great day. I think Duro on this one actually did quite well, but Ruler, this one was not nearly as egregious, but that's going to be one of the big token points for Gen.G.
Yeah.
Just as it was a talking point when Ruler was replaced for Pays, in a weird way, now Ruler has to step up because Pays did leave shoes of equal size that Ruler left, but now it feels like Ruler doesn't fit in his own shoes.
Oh, no.
Because I need to keep it together, and if you start doing
Do
stuff
we need
like
to
this,
keep it together, though?
well,
Oh, that is so much less interesting.
boo, Chovy, boo.
Oh, and they're not even playing the Alistair mid?
Okay, well,
Because Keen really likes Ryze, so I thought it was going to be like Ryze top and then Poppy support Alistair mid. Oh, I can't believe I got that wrong. I feel like I look so silly now. Why didn't you tell me?
I wish you guys could see the face that Atlas has right now, as he's cackling in a rapturous glee over agonizing his poor co-caster.
That was a lot of fun. But Gen.G have a lot of range in their composition, lots of setups.
So we'll see how they play around that, but otherwise, I think it's going to be an explosive game.
I'm very much looking forward to it. Let's dive under the rift and see whether the Sandstorm is going to come out on top or whether it's Gen.G that's able to keep these Tigers at bay. I think. Or it's terminating in May this year? That's what G Sun reported to us. She's basically doing all of our research so that we can focus on the game, which we're totally doing.
Clearly, it's one of those situations where you're in a group project.
They need to calm down a little bit. Speaking of being calm, Clear is not, as he's a little distraught. The Poppy is kind of running amok.
Vikla!
Phase check, does have the Valkyrie. And misses a cannon. Now Raptor's the one that's in trouble. Or is it Kellen that's in trouble? As Chovy moves over, uses all of his mana.
Wait.
Vikla's used all of his health, though. Which is worse? The flash comes out. There's the flash forward from Canyon as Chovy just kills Vikla, who has absolutely no right to be there whatsoever. The extra plant, that was cute angle tech, but it doesn't matter. Raptor is still dead as he sidesteps, and that means Canyon can get the auto.
It would have been great, but then Canyon also kills Raptor! Yeah. Oh, Atlas, this game is cooked.
It is not looking so hot.
It's fine. It's fine.
No,
they can make it work.
It would be hot. As well, they're trying to make this work, as Keen is taking a lot of damage. He's not going to die.
Oh, you said hot, not hard.
Yeah, I said hot.
Oh my god.
Well, that is going to be a steal here from Canyon as well, and a beautiful double pulverize to come in immediately. The Zeri and the Zyra both go down. Z-named champions.
It's too late for BNK.
Oh, Raptor, that was cute, but you might just be dead. Canyon connects another spear, takes him down. Pardon the pun, as now Callan could be in trouble, but the spear is aimed for Vikla instead and takes half of his health bar. That is going to be Canyon now, wielding probably Sorkshoes Leandries as he comes back. This game, where Diablo pressed his ultimate button, there goes one of them. The Kazante's out of there. Now Canyon is looking for Diablo, but he's standing his ground. My god, this guy's insane. As he's still alive, and Canyon almost got shut down in that play. As Chovy is just going to look to kill Vikla, and so's Canyon. Flash does come out, so that means that Vikla will survive. He may have a hard know how to use the champion.
Yeah, because as it turns out, and now this is crazy, but Nidalee's pretty hard.
Yeah, it's difficult to make it look good. As it seems to be difficult to be playing out this bottom lane. Ornn, Hecarim, Ahri, Xayah, Yuumi was the composition. So there we go. I was right. A little bit. As Polymorph comes in, Duro's going to have to get out of there. Takes a lot of damage, but he is going to survive. As once again, Vikla is having a rough time, but Chovy may die as well. And he doesn't.
That is always going to sting. In this game, what can you do? Gen.G are finally playing like Gen.G. It's game 3.
We're going to have a look at this from Chovy's perspective. As he does the walk at him flash.
A little reset on the Q there.
뭐야 잡았네?
And then he thinks that he hasn't got him, but then knows.
오 살았다. 아 죽었네.
He was like, I lived, and then
I must have been, what, like
라이즈
Scorch?
노플이야.
it was a Scorch or it was the... Yeah, no.
I don't know what else it would be.
Something got him. Didn't have red buff or anything silly like that. Grubs now going to look to be taken here as Raptor did get one of them.
I think the levels of Hopium that we would need.
Oh, don't know about that one, Diablo.
I do actually.
Drew doesn't know about it either.
I love it. You know, we're sitting here going, oh, this game is over. You know who doesn't do that? Diablo.
Well, that was the weirdest maneuver ever, as now Clear looking for something. I'm not entirely sure what.
Yeah,
Kane just ignores him and goes about his business.
I think he was trying to drag him over the wall, but he wasn't close enough. Sometimes the hitbox can be so big that does work, but it didn't. No, I love that we're sitting at...
All right, there's the ulti, but they get a nice Stranglethorns, as now Duro could be in trouble, but instead, he's fine and gets healed by Canyon in the last possible moment, unless that was himself. Yeah, Connie actually like made a chocolate shoe. As Duro, that was a sick pole flash to find two of them, and Chovy on the flank angle. They do get the Stranglethorns out, but now the three-man knock-up from Keen, and they're all in the Peanut Gallery and just popped down. Down goes the Zeri, and Arula landing a whole bunch of buttons. A much better performance by him this game, but honestly, he's not the main character. It is all about this Nidalee Rise. As Clear walking up towards them, the Rift Herald is going to be able to get a charge, take down that outer turret, and now back to what Gen.G were looking to do, which was to just take a dragon. They get another charge. My God, this is an absolute shellacking demolition here from Gen.G, and they're on perfect game pace because showing up for the series.
For a Chovy vote?
Yeah, better late than never to like play.
But he showed up early.
I guess the Azir was kind of fine, as Kellen is almost just dead. He wild growths himself.
So now we're actually
just make all the other perfect games.
No, I know. So
not actually real.
Well, that's the thing where you can look at it from two different perspectives. You can read it as we read it the way when it was written, which I think I'm with you on this one. Or you can argue perfect game is not dropping anything at any point.
Yeah, exactly. And also taking all of the plates and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no one on Gen.G should die, and then at least we can claim they have a perfect game.
Yep.
But I think someone might.
As all right, Clear is looking for a little bit of an angle. Does get stunned up here as Keen dives in, gets the heroic charge into the wall, looking to try and stop it from going on as Clear goes the Zyra, and Clear is stuck. Never mind, he popped instead of popping off. Vikla as well. It's going to get trampled as Kellen. Oh my God, Ruler just shoots him with a whole bunch of buttons. Spends some time as, oh God, it's not quite a penta, but now the curtains have been called. A few of these bullets are going to be connecting as Keen looking for the angle. There is the triple. You know the Ruler was looking for that penta angle in the story.
Gen.G, come on. Come on now. You have one job.
Honestly, I think it's still fine. His headbutt pole onto the Cassante. Clear is almost just straight up dead as Canyon looks for a bit of a spear angle. Doesn't quite get it. The Diablo now looking for his little shot here as there's the flash forward. The double pulverize yet again. Raptor thrown away from the rest of his team. And Duro, he even has an ulti running. So he's absolutely fine as well as Ruler throwing some dancing grenades. And now, show us your dancing shoes, Diablo. And unfortunately, they are not quite good enough. As Ruler, you are underneath the enemy. What? The perfect game's on the line. Okay, he's got a primal surge that heals him for his entire health bar because Canyon's so fed. Duro gets the knock-up onto Clear here as well, who's desperately trying to go all out to kill Ruler, who is looking tasty. Where did Kellen go? Okay, Duro just diving on through. Yep, Chovy is going to be able to put Vikla in prison in a whole lot of different ways. And down will go the Nexus. Perfect game, apart from one grub, will be achieved here for Gen.G in game number 3. Resto Kimon is basically saying that it's true. So maybe everyone just thinks it's true.
Keen was incredible today, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, you know, Keen's good, but it's Chovy. This is the struggle when you play with a mid laner that's that good. You know, Keen really suffering from success.
Yeah, it is tough when you're surrounded by legends
Is
to stand out.
just a Nidalee one tree?
Well, he is definitely good at Nidalee. We will definitely say that. As you see, Chovy just moves a billion minions on top of Vikla.
This, we had quite the day, Atlas. I feel like we got kind of swept up after the shenanigans in the first series.
I feel very much like I went on a journey today.
We did.
Even though we sat in the same seats, in the same positions this whole day, Chovy did do a lot of boom boom damage. So he's got that side of the vote as well. Oh man. I really hope that some of the, maybe the POM comments are gonna say perfect games as well. I wanna see that there are other people that agree that grubs aren't real. And plates on.
Well, this is the problem. This is the one thing that grubs have going for them, whereas plates don't. If there was plates, they wouldn't show up on this thing, right?
Ah, so that thing would have to be completely empty.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by Chovy on the side of Genji. Congratulations!
팬분들의 뜨거운 환호가 터져나오고 있습니다. 젠지의 오전 전승
The fans are so rowdy today. The undefeated
일단
with
저희가
5 wins in a row. How does it feel to continue your winning
상대로
streak?
이기면서 5연승을 한 거라
You know, in the process, I feel like we were able to defeat a lot of really strong teams, which makes me even more proud, and I'm really happy about this. And yeah, you're right. At this point, you have defeated 5 LCK teams at the top of the standings. So how high is your confidence right now?
예, 저도 말씀대로 좀 차이 있는 상태인 것 같고.
I feel like just like you said, our
항상 이길 수
confidence
있을
is
것 같다는
quite
생각이
high.
기본적으로 있는 것 같아요.
And I feel like the baseline mindset is that we can win against anyone. Yet BNK FearX put up a good fight today, and they looked quite prepared. And you dropped Game 1 as a result. What do you think was the cause of the Game 1 loss? I think Game 1 we started off with a disadvantage, and we weren't able to catch up to them because of our champions, and I think the enemy was able to just snowball off of that, and we weren't able to come back. So what did you focus on from Game 2?
제 챔피언이 빅토르인데
So from Game
또
2,
처음부터 좀 난전이 많이
because I was
나왔는데
playing Victor, there are a lot of challenges in the early
수
stage.
있겠다고 생각을 해서
But I knew that as long as I'm able to scale
잘하는 위주로 했던 것 같아요.
well, that we would be able to win in the end. So I really focused on just scaling and getting to the late game. Yeah, in Game 3, your first rise in 2 years, you had an insane laning phase. Let's take a look at this replay. In this laning phase, you flashed in front of the turret to get this kill. So can you walk us through this?
잘 풀어나가지고 그런 것 같고요.
I think it's because we were able to play well
제가 좀 콤보를
before
잘 못 넣었어가지고
today.
못 잡았다고
And I feel like before that, I
I
thought I wasn't able to get this kill because I wasn't able to pull the combo off.
좀 다행이다.
So how did it feel when you got the kill? I was thinking, oh, thank God, I was able to get the kill regardless of me playing not playing well. So from skill shots to laning and trading and team fights, just how much time and how much effort do you put into practicing champions? A lot of the champions that we're seeing in mid are pretty similar. So right now, all I really try to focus on was just maintaining my condition, a good condition for the match days. And your next match will be a Saturday showdown with the bros. It's your chance to get your LCK Cup revenge. So any word over to them?
좋은 모습 보여주려고 많이 노력하겠습니다. 그리고
I will make
저희가 또 방심 안
and
하고
put in a lot of effort
나갈 수 있도록
to be
하겠습니다.
considered
to
to play out and pull off a godlike performance against the bros.
감사합니다.
And that's the end of the interview with Chovy, and back to the space. Thank you.